So it just takes a few hours a month to be a PC, and it's where the real power is. I want to jump ahead real quick to, I've already gone over that. That's how few we have. We only 50% strength in my county. We're working on it. So will you get out of the bleachers and get in the real ball game of politics? Now, truth time. Don't silently to yourself. Ever been to a party committee meeting? Do you know the name and number of your precinct? You live in one. You know its boundaries? You know any conservatives who live near you or in your precinct? You know any precinct committeemen in your precinct? You might not even have any. So how hard is it to become a precinct committeeman? This is how hard it is. Show up in a meeting. Find out where your committee meets and go there and tell them you want to become a precinct committeeman. This is how easy it is in Arizona. You have to get 10 signatures or fewer on a nomination form. They'll give you a walking sheet. They'll tell you where the conservative, in my case, or if you're a Republican or Democrat, it'll tell you where the Democrats and Republicans live. You knock on the door, get 10 signatures. You have to fill out another piece of paper, affidavit of qualification that says you live in the precinct. You turn it into the elections board. The party will help you. Boom, you're on the ballot. You're probably going to run unopposed, okay, because there's so many vacancies. And then once you're an elected PC, nobody can tell you what to do. You put into it what you want. But the real key here is that you get to vote for the party leadership, and you get to help get out the vote. I got 1 minute to go here, so I'm racing. There's no cavalry, folks. If you don't do this, nobody else is going to do it. So you have to ask yourself, will you do this? I want you to do it for my kids, okay? Again, 200,000 Republican PC slots out of 400,000 vacant. We've got the numbers. We've got millions of constitutional conservatives. We should be able to do this. These slides will tell you that there's millions in all these groups, okay? Got, thousands and thousands and thousands. But we're not united where it matters in a political party. So, priorities. If I could only spend 2 hours a month on politics, I'd spend it at my monthly party committee meeting because I can elect the leadership and I can get involved and get out the vote at my precinct. Okay, again, using the Republican Party as an example. The reason the Republican Party is not conservative enough for some complaining conservatives is because those same complaining conservatives are not in the party as precinct committeemen. It's a hell of a lot more fun than blogging. Keep hitting the keyboards though, okay? But you got to go to your local meetings too. And the candidates come to these meetings, okay? And I'm getting the stop button, so I got one more slide, I think. So let's really prove that we're a center-right country, okay? Now, here are the resources. Precinctproject.wordpress.com. Precinctproject.us is a new website with American Majority Action. All of this stuff is in this PowerPoint. I'll give you this PowerPoint. You just need your email address. And that's it for me. Thank you. And Jim is up next.
I'm a wanderer, but I don't know if this is going to be long enough to wander. My name's Jim Hahn, and I'm a walking example of what Dan's talking about. I met Dan online about 2 years ago. It's the first time I actually met him personally. And we've communicated for about 2 years. So I got a series of quick questions for you guys. Raise your hand if you're politically active or you believe you're politically active. Okay? Keep your hand up if you've ever written a letter to your congressman. Keep your hand up if you've ever called your congressman. Keep your hand up if you've ever donated to a political campaign. Keep your hand up if you've ever screamed at the leadership of the party that you had because they always seem to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. Thank you very much. Okay? For 30 years of my life, I was one of those people. Every single bit of it. Never attended a precinct committee meeting in my life. In 2008, and I'm from Minnesota. How many of you guys are from Minnesota? Oh, cool. In 2008, I attended, after 30 years of doing all of those things, I got really scared. I got really scared about who one of the candidates was for the other party, and I wasn't really happy with the choices of the people in my party. So I showed up at the precinct committee caucus in Minnesota, which we have every February. And I get there, and I sit down in my caucus. There's 8 slots open to go to the county delegate, the county convention, to vote for who we want as our presidential candidate. There's 6 people there. I'm one of them. I can win a race like that. 8 slots, 6 people, I can do that. So when they said, who wants to be a county delegate, this is so hard, I stuck my hand up. Okay? There I am. Now I'm at the county convention. So we go through the county convention thing, and I'm kind of a precinct delegate, not really into it. And then 2010 rolled around, we had the whole Obamacare and everything else. I decided to get a little more involved. So I went back to my precinct committee in the February, and now it was time to elect the representatives to our congressional district convention. So I raised my hand when they said, who wants to run for that? There's like 10 of us sitting there. I raised my hand. And the next thing I know, also being nominated, I didn't even know this. Living in my precinct was our state senator. Okay, our state senator is kind of a moderate conservative guy. Apparently had annoyed some of the people in our precinct. And I almost withdrew my name. Because it's like, you gotta be kidding me. 30-year state senator? I'm just some schmuck. And I kept hearing this voice in my head from online saying, if you want to change the party, you have to become the party. So at that moment of truth, I decided to stay in. They asked me to give about a 45-second speech about why I wanted this position. And all I said was, I see our country sliding down the road to oblivion. And I want to be able to look my kids in the eye when they ask me what I did and tell them I actually tried to do something about it. They announced the results of the vote, and I won. I almost fell over in a dead faint. Think about this, people. 10 committed conservatives showed up at a precinct meeting and defeated a 30-year incumbent state senator. 10. I didn't do anything but raise my hand and talk for 30 seconds. I don't think they were enamored with me. I think they were upset with somebody else. Okay? That's how easy this is. Today I stand and I look at you. I am the county chairman of my